There's a growing need for occupational therapists, with overall demand expected to increase by 14% by 2034. Now, to help meet that need, Touro University, Nevada is launching a newly revised, accelerated 2-year entry-level doctorate curriculum set to begin this November. And Professor Kristin Valdes is joining us to talk more about this new curriculum and what it means for our community at large. So how are you doing, Kristin?
Very well, thank you.
Well, thanks for coming in. Obviously, you know, a lot of people are looking to maybe spice up their career, change things up, and obviously with the growing need, there's going to be more people needed for these kind of placements. So if some people at home aren't familiar with it, how can you explain what occupational therapists are and what they do?
Sure. Occupational therapists help people throughout the lifespan. So there's a wide variety of conditions that we deal with. Anybody from a child in NICU to a senior citizen who might want to get back on the pickleball court. So occupation is not just to get to work, it's to get people back to doing what they enjoy doing and making sure their quality of life is the best that it can be.
Yeah. Who should really consider a career in this field, and what makes the area of expertise such a special place to come and, you know, do as a career?
So anybody who's interested in helping others, but also it's a really great career where you have a lot of interdisciplinary activity, where you work with other team members on the healthcare team to get the best results for your client. So somebody who has a background in science, perhaps either a bachelor's degree in anatomy or in psychology or in even anthropology, would be a great fit for our program at Touro University.
It might be something for a lot of people to look into and be interested in, because there are lots of career and industries right now that are oversaturated. People are finding it increasingly difficult to find placement, to find work, to find those jobs that satisfy their needs. So with that in mind, what does the current job market look like? We talked about what the increase is going to look like, but what does it look like now?
Right. So there is no problem getting a job. In fact, we have a group of students that are about to graduate, and most of them have already got a job offer before they even graduate. So the nice thing is you can even work any place across the United States. So once you take the national certification exam, if you decide you want to start your career in Las Vegas but then move to someplace else, you're able to do so. So it's a great career if you want a lot of flexibility, and the hours can be flexible as well, and the placement. You can work in a hospital, you can work in a school. It's just a great occupation that allows a lot of flexibility.
Yeah, well, what about the job itself? What does the job entail, and what kind of formation do people need to actually do the job?
So in school, you'll learn all about different conditions and anatomy and things like that, and then in the field, we practice that application. So if someone is perhaps having difficulty holding a fork or spoon, we might adapt the fork or spoon to make it a larger handle so that they can more easily do what they need to do. So an occupational therapist will evaluate the person and determine what kind of functional deficits they have, and then do they need to gain strength? Do they need to gain coordination? What do they need to work on to be able to get back to what they want to do?
Yeah, it sounds like the job itself also gives a certain level of satisfaction and personal rewards for doing this kind of work. Is that something that you certainly glean from it?
Oh, absolutely. It is an amazingly rewarding profession that gives you a lot of satisfaction, because at the end of the day, you've allowed people to regain doing something that they thought at one point they may not be able to.
Yeah, and with the courses that are changing and evolving, the curriculum this November, if anyone's watching at home who might be thinking about applying, what do they need to do? What kind of criteria do they need, and how do they get in touch?
So at Touro, we have an admissions team, and they'll be glad to help them through that whole process. But basically, you would need to have a bachelor's level degree, and then you can apply, and when you graduate, you'll end up with a doctoral degree. So it's an advanced accelerated program to get you into the profession as quick as possible.
And from your point of view, what's one of the major highlights for you in being overseeing the curriculum and teaching people these kind of skills?
Well, the wonderful thing is to see that these people are going out and helping, and because so many people stay active so much longer in their lifespan these days, occupational therapists can help them get to where they want to be and stay there. So it's just a great profession to get into.
Thanks, Kristin. Again, getting folks back on the pickleball court, like you said, as well.
Right.
Very important. Thank you so much. Now, to learn more about how to become an occupational therapist and other medical professions at Touro University, just head to tour.touro.edu.